Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:03. Welcome to the Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here. Dustin Nielson with you. Huss is going to be popping by in just a quick minute. We'll get to that. If you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please tell your friends how easy it is to get our crystal clear content all day long. And if you watch over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. The Mariners lose. The Mariners lose. And the Toronto Blue Jays are going to the World Series. We'll dive into that a little bit. Huss is going to join us. What is this I see over here? Matt Hyman says, #justice for Skechers. Patty was saying he was taking a ton of heat for Skechers. Which, I mean, I've been a Nike guy for like the last year and a half. I've got 5 pairs of Nikes. I wear them all the time. However, today, I do have on a pair of Skechers, and these things are bloody terrific. I bought these a few months ago. I've only worn them a few times because I've been on this Nike kick. But today I put this on, and my goodness, man. Like, these are, I put it in, and my foot was like, my man, that's what I'm talking about. So the Nikes look good, but Skechers are extremely more comfortable. So I can't believe that I can't believe that kind of blasphemous garbage was being spread on the Hangout today.
And I feel like those don't look bad. Like, that's not a bad looking shoe,
man. Like, look at these. These look fine.
Yeah.
These look fine.
Those do look good. I've never owned a pair of Skechers.
Well, here's the thing. Meet a woman, have some kids, become a dad, and you'll be like, Skechers are the greatest thing in my life.
That's when
that doesn't surprise me. So on the Hangout, 2 single dudes with no kids, not dads, are going at the guy who's a dad because he wears Skechers.
It's a dad shoe.
I mean, I think it's a dad shoe.
Yeah.
But have you seen the Skechers show in the store in the mall now?
Oh, yeah.
It's like walking into a Nike store. Yeah. But for Skechers, they got what's the paddle game? Pickleball. They got a whole pickleball section of Skechers shoes. And you can get Skechers that look a heck of a lot cooler even than these ones. So,
question for you.
I think it's ridiculous.
Do you know how to spell Skechers, Dusty?
Yes, I think so. Is it a trick?
I'm just curious. Yeah, I just want to know your thoughts.
Isn't it Sketchers?
No, there's no T.
Skech.
It's part of, that's one of like the biggest. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
Yeah. The Mandela effect is like everybody thinks it's something, but it's not that.
So everyone thought for the longest time that Skechers had a T, and then they were like, wait, no, like they could have sworn it. No, it had a T.
Well, what a twist.
But it has never had a T.
What are those other Mandela effects? Google like the most popular Mandela effects. Isn't one like the
Berenstein Bears or the Berenstein Bears?
I used to read those. Yeah, the Bernstein Bears. Bernstein Bears, yeah.
Yeah, I know that's a popular one. What is...
I thought wasn't something like the peanut guy had a stick or something like. I thought there was a couple of those. Maybe the.
I know the Monopoly guy, like he had a monocle, right? Everyone remembers him having a monocle, but he never had a monocle ever. We just imagine that.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. It's like thinking that the Mariners had a chance to beat the Blue Jays in Game 7. Reed Wilkins over in the chat says, no one ever thought or cared if it had a T. Yeah, I mean, he's Reed's right.
A lot of people thought it had a T.
No, but I thought it had a T. I should know, though. I go to Skechers all the time. He's in the chat over there.
Yes, so many people. Millions of people thought it had a T, Reed. I disagree with that.
Somebody says it's Berenstain. That's not Berenstain.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the Berenstain Bears, but it's actually...
It's the Berenstain Bears.
What is it?
It's the Berenstain Bears. It's not Stain, Staин. I've got tons of those books at home. There's no way that's AIN, Stain.
The correct spelling is Berenstain. Berenstain Bears. With an A, not an E. It's not the Berenstain Bears. It's not that. It's Berenstain Bears.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, that's the big one. That one gets a lot of people.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I did not know that one.
I know.
Oh, well. You learn something new every day, I guess. All right. The Lock Shop and all of Edmonton Sports Talk is brought to you by the crew over at Play Alberta. Let's see here. They've got improved odds for all North American major leagues, including the National Football League this year. And it's all more convenient than ever with the new and improved Play Alberta app. I know there's some hiccups on the payout of the St. Brown touchdown last night, but I got that sorted out this morning, so you all should have got paid out properly for that one. A couple of things that we already have up today. Got to be a get-right game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. They're playing the Ottawa Senators. They've given up 30 goals in 6 games. The Oilers have struggled scoring so far. They're going to put McDavid and Draisaitl together again tonight. Pod Colson gets to plug away and go get pucks for them. So I've got the early bird bet, which is essentially a get off the schneid parlay. McDavid doesn't have a goal yet this year. Bouchard doesn't even have a bloody point yet this year. So Oilers money line, McDavid with a goal, Bouch with a point, plus 350. And then my play of the day, I just put it up as well. Senators power play or penalty kill is no good. It's been struggling so far. Not that the Oilers power play has lit the world on fire yet, but I like Leon Draisaitl over 1.5 points tonight at plus 130. So you can find both of those on the EST specials page. If you've not yet used our codes for the month of October, make sure you do. EST50, deposit $50, get a $50 free bet. I used my $50 free bet yesterday on the Seahawks Lions moneyline parlay. Should have gone on the spreads because that bad boy hit as well. And then we've got the EST Sports, deposit 50, get 50 as well. Find all of those at playalberta.ca. Mark A over on the chat says McDavid hat trick tonight. I wouldn't go that far. Let's pump the brakes. I mean, he hasn't scored yet. I don't see a hat trick coming tonight. Anyway, let's talk some Blue Jays. Let's bring in Huss, Winnipeg Sports Talk. Blue Jays to win the AL. That ticket cashes for you, Huss. Just a glorious night. A where were you moment when Georgie steps up to the plate on one knee and takes a ball deep to left field. They go up 4-3. Hoffman, a couple innings later, strikes out the side in the 9th. And just absolute dream last night for us Jays fans. Is Huss on mute? Huss, are you muted? No, he's not on mute. Send him a new link, I guess, Trev. Wait. Did Huss say he was on mute? Is he back? No. Okay. Huss, we're going to send you a new link and you can reconnect. That happened earlier today with Button, too. And then we sent a new link, and it worked the rest of the show. I blame Zach. Zach's got to be doing something to that machine. All right. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few more of those text messages. Pretty busy slate in the National Hockey League tonight as well. So we will we'll dive into that. Let me see. What do I got here? That's 2 guys in goalie. We've got 2 guys in goalie coming out with myself, Cass, and Gager. Lots of Oilers discussion there. We'll get into those new line combinations. Blue Jays, we'll get into that. We'll get into the Monday Nighter in the National Football League. Tough to see Mike Evans leave that game. We needed him on the touchdown last night. That did not happen. But we'll get into both of those games. And then, we will get into a big NHL slate tonight. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games in the National Hockey League tonight. The Winnipeg Jets getting it done last night. There's some good teams right now that have had good starts to the year. The Oilers are not one of them, but Vegas looks awesome. Winnipeg looks good. Colorado looks excellent. Dallas hasn't really started going yet. Tampa hasn't started going yet. Oilers haven't started going yet. So we'll see where some of these other teams sort of pick up. If you're watching the Lock Shop today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's try Huss again. Let's bring back in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Huss, we got you now.
Working now?
Working now. Just like that. Perfect. You're like Springer in the bottom of the 7th.
Not a mute issue. That was I might need a new cord for this mic issue.
Oh,
it
really?
Seems to kind of, I don't know. It's just come out a couple times and I've needed to reset. But anyways, that was on me. My apologies. Trev, thanks for the link. Yeah, dude, that was, a magical all-time moment last night. And, as much as, listen, I've worked in or around hockey most of my life. So obviously being a Canadian guy and we've got a team, hockey's always right there. I think as a fan, my favorite sport is football, just to watch. I mean, I've always loved it. Obviously, there's all the betting and fantasy and stuff that goes into it. But I'm telling you right now, for the drama, the intensity, when it comes to sports, I'm not sure there's much that can compare to, I mean, playoff baseball, period, but a scenario like we saw last night.
You're right.
I mean,
you're not wrong, man. Like
it was, and it was one of those where were you moments. Like I was watching the game and we were locked in. We obviously had the football game on one of the TVs. We had the Jays on with sound. We had the Jet game on, which we were trying to kind of pay attention to in between pitches, but it was a little different. And, you know, like wherever you were, like I kind of felt sorry, like for people that were just kind of sitting around like at home by themselves watching it, because that was one of those sports moments that if you are with a group of people, the euphoria of it is something that adds so much to the moment. And I mean, for our friends and colleagues that were in the building yesterday, I mean, that's one of those moments that, I mean, you legitimately never will forget. It'll stay with you forever. And regardless of what happens in the World Series coming up, for the Jays to win it the way they did, it feels like they have, I mean, they got through a lot of baggage that has been with this team for over 30 seasons. And I mean, I'm sure you guys talked about it this morning. I mean, Vladdy tempting fate by wearing the Matthews jersey in. Like, was there?
I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life, Huss. Yeah, that must have broke during your show yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And, I mean, you can imagine the chat. I saw one of the guys from Chiclet said that that's like wearing a Biz Nasty jersey to a spelling bee. I mean, it was. But again, outside of obviously the Jays and their fans, is there a bigger winner from last night than the Leafs? Even though they're playing terribly and whatnot, like it was hilarious. If the Jays had lost that game, people would have legitimately focused on Vladdy wearing the Matthews jersey.
I would have legitimately focused on it. Yes, like you don't do that. The moment I saw it, I said, "What the hell is this guy thinking? Like, does he not have a friend who's like, hey, Vladdy, might not be the best idea. Throw on a Kawhi Raptors jersey or somebody." I was joking. You might as well throw on an Arbuckle jersey. At least he won the MVP of the Grey Cup.
That would have been nailed.
Would have made more sense than Austin Matthews. But you got it done. You mentioned, you'll remember where you were for that game. I was at home with Tam and the kids, settled in, watched the entire game again. Elizabeth, in the seventh inning, was like, "Oh, I'm so tired," because it was like 8:30 past her bedtime. And she's like, "Oh, I think I might want to go to bed." And then I said, "Wow, you might want to stay up. Like, this could be pretty good." So then she stays up. Springer hits the bomb. And we're jumping around the living room, all four of us. And she's like, "I'm so happy I stayed up. I'm so happy I stayed up." I was just like, yes. So it was, the kids were but like, that's my moment when Carter hit his home run. I was a little bit older than Marshall when that happened. I became a Blue Jays fan because of that. And my whole family was watching the game together. And I'm hoping like that's that moment for my kids. Maybe there's a bigger one coming, preferably. But if not, we'll have Game 7 of the ALCS that we'll never forget. And they'll probably be Blue Jays fans their entire lives because of it.
There is, like, if you think back to the success the team had at the beginning of the 90s, that set the stage for the growth of the franchise, the growth of the fan base. I mean, it really took it on the road to what it is now. Now, obviously, we live in a different time with television and social media and all that. And obviously, they're owned by a massive, massive telecommunications company. But it's the moments. And frankly, the team, too. Like, we've talked about this team all year long. And I remember our conversations setting it up before the season and talking about the Jays when we hit, like, their over-under for wins this year was 78.5.
Yeah. I know. Of all the other years where it's been like 90, 91, this was supposed to be the off year. Like,
there is. I mean, and this was the year where the odds were way, way, way down. And even when the team was hanging around, in the middle of the year, nobody really took them seriously. I mean, I still think back, shout out to Duck Dad and everybody else who jumped on that one for the middle of the summer. I'm like, guys, we've got a first place team here that has owned the Yankees that is flirting with the top record in the American League, and they were like 5th in the AL to win. And it didn't compute because their World Series odds, I think at the time, were like 12-1. And yet they were 7-1 to win the AL and behind a bunch of teams. So, I mean, they've been proving people wrong all year long. And as the stretch went down, did it not sort of feel like this was a team that just had like a special mojo?
Their ability to come from behind in games, man, it just was, nobody did it better this year in the entire league.
Well, exactly. And you know what, the moment I actually think, and it's funny because they lost this series, and we'll be talking about this a lot as we get closer to Friday night. But I think about that Sunday afternoon game in LA against the Dodgers. And they were on the verge of blowing it. It was bases loaded in the 9th. And Fluharty strikes out Mookie Betts and Ohtani back-to-back to win that game. And from there on in, they just started running again. And, we all know how the end of the season went with the Yankees winning the last 8, and all of a sudden they'd blown it, and yet they won their last 4 games and held on and did it. That was so big. And the fact that listen, the crowd and the energy, you hear it from the players. You hear it. I mean, that's been a big part of it too. And despite the fact they lost games 1 and 2 of the ALCS, coming back home, they were willed to win by a lot of the people in the building. And listen, this team is sort of set, I think, for another generation of the Blue Jays truly being a national team. Have we heard ratings for it last night?
I haven't seen any overnights. I mean, it's a massive number. I mean, I can't even guess what that number is going to be.
I think this is going to touch some of the biggest sporting broadcasts in
Canadian history.
I don't know the list. I mean, obviously, that 72 series, I think. I mean, the entire country was watching it. You got the Olympic Games, the gold medal game. But for a baseball broadcast, I mean, it's got to be up there. And I wouldn't be surprised when it's all said and done if more Canadians didn't watch the game last night than Americans.
I'm just trying to look here. No, I can't see anything recent. I did see the MLB postseason TV ratings are the highest that they've been since 2010. So in general, that's good for baseball.
I'll tell you what, I think it's because of the Blue Jays.
Yeah. I mean, like the Blue Jays does that factor in Canadian television? I'm just trying to think. I don't think that.
Listen, when Major League Baseball's putting out their numbers, they're including everyone.
Yeah.
I know that in the DS, in the game against the Yankees, the Canadian number was close to what it was in the States.
Really?
Which is, I mean,
well, that's insane. Those numbers are usually never comparable outside of hockey, obviously. But,
so
yeah,
this, and I mean, now we've got the Dodgers. We'll be talking about Ohtani's 20 minutes as a J.
Let me ask you this. So we were joking this morning that the guy who stepped off Ohtani jet on the plane should throw out the first pitch, Robert Herjavec. Would that not be hilarious? That's diving in and owning a bit. And I know they've got some former Jays they'd like to bring in, but my God, that would be hilarious. That would be incredible. I think that would be funny. Okay, so what about Hoffman last night, man? He comes in and strikes out the side in the top of the 9th. I joked about it this morning. I said on the show this morning, we were sitting there and, Tam and the kids had watched game 6 with me and they saw what Hoffman did in game 6. So when Hoffman comes trotting out in last night, Marshall's like, "Oh, good, Hoffman." And I said to him, just a second, son. We're not fully confident in Hoffman just yet. He had a lot of struggles during the regular season. We have to see where this goes. And Marshall's like, "Daddy, don't tell me that. I wasn't nervous, but now I am." I said, "Don't worry. Let's see." But then, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
You can't bring in that negative energy, Dusty.
I shouldn't have. But I can't. Sometimes a 10-year-old needs to realize that it's not everybody's perfect. Right, Hoffman.
You want to know something that happened last night, and this is 100% true. I'm sitting with some of my buddies that I watch a lot of games with, and we're sweating through this, and we're getting to the bottom, so that's the 7th inning stretch. And my buddy Zold, who was beside me, was giving off, and he's not normally like this, but he was giving off some serious negative energy.
Oh, no.
And I turned to him and I said, dude, like, we got to lock in. Like, this is time for positive vibes here. We got to think positively. Like, listen, the Jays have batted 6. This is the bottom of the 7th. There's still 3 more at bats, 9 outs. This is like a hockey game going into the 3rd period. Like, let's lock in and focus and dude, 5 minutes later, Springer hits the freaking home run. And I told you so him so badly. It was like, and next time, it's ever going to be one of these things where, we're screwed or whatever, I will look back at this moment. Shout out to the new day, the power of positivity, the power of positive thinking. And I was about to text like my most psycho Jays fans, guys, it's all good. The guys at the game. And I didn't even get a chance to do that because it was already done. And by the way, like we all talk about the Springer homer. How about IKF? Isaiah Kalefa-Kiner doing it. I mean, starting it all off with the hit. This guy was a cast-off. They signed him. They got rid of him. He stunk. He was on the freaking Pittsburgh Pirates, a glorified double A team with Paul Skeens all year long. And then somehow he comes back and he's making huge hits. Jimenez, the 2 2-run shots by Jimenez are going to be forgotten in all of this.
They shouldn't be forgotten. Those are huge.
I maintain that his first one got them into the series.
That was game 3, right? That was a huge one. Yeah.
3, down 2-0.
Yeah.
Everyone freaking out. This is it. And that started it all. And then to do it again in the exact same situation the next day, 1 on, 3rd inning. I mean, everyone chipped in last night. And you speak about Hoffman. Like, I don't know about you. I mean, the way things look with Gossman and then Bassett coming in, I was sort of there for more Bassett.
I thought, if they would have brought out Bassett for another inning, I would have been in support of it at the time. I was just like, I could see more Bassett right now. He looked okay.
Hey, Hoffman, you want to talk about it. He, 3 perfect innings in 2 days. And, much like Vladdy was in a coma for September.
Yeah.
He comes up and steps up. I mean, these guys who've done it all year long, I mean, almost to a man, everyone stepped up and they needed everybody to get it done against a hell of a great Mariners team. Like, I have to admit, I do really feel like this isn't
bad
like
for the Mariners.
Yankees. You're good riddance. Like, if the Jays had lost, I would have been pulling for the Mariners so hard. I mean, I love Cal Raleigh. Rodriguez is an absolute stud. Suarez is great. I got to tell you, that Brian Wu, when he came in last night, oh my God.
He looked untouchable early there. I was pretty worried early on. I was like, oh no.
Well, thank God they got him out.
Yeah.
Because it was, what's his name, that served it up after Wu was in. No one was touching Wu when he was in.
Yeah, no, they took him out, bringing Bizzardo. And then Eric this morning, Eric's a Mariners fan. He was distraught. We're talking about before the show. He goes, they should have just gone straight to Munoz. Like, it's a must-have game. Like, you should have just gone straight to Munoz and gone from there. I was like, yeah, you're probably right, man. It's
he was the Brendan Little of Seattle.
Yeah, that was tough. Okay, what about Bo Bichette? Apparently, good. I don't know what the level of good to go is, but Bo Bichette telling people last night he's ready for the World Series. That would be quite the addition. Now, maybe limited in certain fashions, I'm sure. But still, I mean, to get that bat back is going to be big.
It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the roster. Like, I heard AJ Przinsky this morning saying, well, you know what? Like, Bo's great and everything like that, but things are just rolling the way they are. I mean, I think you just got to go with the guys that brought you there. I'm like, you're telling me in baseball, like, you've got one of the top hitters, I think the guy that led the entire majors in hits, and you're just going to, now that he's healthy, leave him off the roster because you won 2 series? I don't think so, AJ.
You can't do that. Sorry, AJ Przinsky, but
that's insane.
You can't do that.
Absolutely insane. So, do they bring him in, switch him out for IKF? That's possible.
You could do that. I mean, we had Korolnik on this morning. He was talking about, and you could put him in DH if he can't play short, and then you have to put Springer back in the field. How is Springer in the field with the knee? I mean, he looked fine running the bases last night, but 2 games ago, he looked like he was in quite a bit of pain with that knee when he was swinging and missing. I mean, so there's the option there. And then if you bring him back into the field, then what, Lucas and Barger, who've actually been playing pretty well, one of them has to come out. And I don't think that's an ideal situation. So it's a good problem to have. I mean, guys are playing so well right now that you're like, well, how do you move things around for Bichette? But the answer is still you move things around for Bichette, right? Like that's going to have to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, if IKF comes out of the starting lineup, Jimenez moves over to second, and Bo gets in at
that
short.
seems if he can play, then that's what you're going to do, right? So,
and I mean, if he can't play and you're not worried about him, at least, I mean, if he can swing the bat, I mean, how could you not want that guy to lean on him in a pinch hit situation? I mean, I hope he can do an everyday player. Like I got the. It is amazing now that the Jays have won this. We cashed the 7-1s, and I didn't have World Series futures on it. I was just sort of focusing on the AL, just knowing that the Dodgers were basically waiting, and figured if they could get to the World Series, you'd want to get something for it as opposed to still letting it ride. But I did take two futures before the playoffs started for World Series MVP. Bo Bichette.
And Ohtani?
At 75-1. No.
Oh.
Alejandro Kirk. 120-1.
You sick bastard. Unbelievable.
Hey, I am a big Kirk guy. And you know what? Everyone's had their moments. Kirk would be a perfect guy to go nuclear. You guy's a professional hitter. One of the best with runners in scoring position. One of the best.
Can you imagine Kirk getting on a heater and leading the Blue Jays to a World Series against Ohtani and the Dodgers? My goodness, that would be insane.
Then you got Kirk.
Hey, if they are to upset the Dodgers, is that bigger than the Raptors championship?
Oh, I would say so.
I think so. KD was hurt when I don't want to take anything away from the Raptors, but the Warriors lost Kevin Durant. That would be like if Ohtani somehow left this series, it would change the view of it, I think, a little bit.
Maybe this take is outdated in 2025. I don't know. I mean, obviously the country's a lot bigger. It's a lot more diverse. But I would think that baseball, with the history of the Blue Jays having won before, I think that would really trump the NBA. Like, I think more people watch baseball than basketball, just generally throughout the year.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I mean, the whole nation was captivated by Kawhi and the Raptors, but baseball is probably still at a bit of a different level here.
It'll be, it's a great question though, like to compare, because it's the same thing. It's a lot of people that normally hate the Toronto teams that are cheering for them because they're more of a Canadian team. Like there's only one Raptors in the NBA. There's only one.
I think there's a larger regular season fan base though for the Jays than the Raptors, right? Like I think
people just have the games on. You just like, I don't think the Raptor games do very well like regularly throughout the season. Now the team sort of sucked, so
the team sucks right now. So, but yeah, it's like this. So this will be the biggest thing in Toronto. Well, I mean, what's the path to upset the Dodgers here, Huss? What do you think has to happen? Like, do they need Gausman and Bieber and Yasavage to basically just put together gems every time out?
They're definitely going to need to match what the Dodgers are throwing out there. I mean, obviously the hitters are going to need to make them earn it. And, listen, when you're throwing out a lineup that has the studs that the Dodgers have, you're going to have to score runs, but it also is going to come down to, I mean, from the first starter on that team right through the bullpen, absolutely elite pitching performances that, I mean, I don't want to say make no mistakes because obviously it's going to happen at some point, but the bats are going to have to keep cooking. They're going to have to be able to get to it and get into the pen. I mean, that's the one thing that Milwaukee wasn't really able to do.
No, that's the thing. Korolnik today has said that the Dodgers starters in that series against the Brewers combined for a .49 whip. So 0.49 walks and hits per inning for the four starters against, like the Brewers did nothing against their starting pitching, nothing. And so they even get to the pen. Like the pen hasn't even been used really in the Dodgers for the last 2 weeks.
Well, and I mean, that was an issue before and going into the playoffs. I mean, Roki Sasaki is the closer now. He had never pitched in relief in his life until like 3 weeks ago. But I mean, what was it? Cease went 8 innings. Yamamoto pitched the first complete game in the postseason since 2017. Glasnow had a great start. And then Ohtani did the Ohtani show on Friday with the 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. So, I mean, listen, it is a tall task. There's no doubt about it. And it'd be interesting to get some historical comparisons for how big of a favorite the Dodgers are as opposed to recent World Series. But I mean, look, what is the number right now? Like, let's do a quick.
Jays were plus 170. Dodgers, what's that make the Dodgers? Minus 213.
Minus 213.
Yeah,
that's it's a pretty big favorite. But I'll tell you what, the Jays have been proving people wrong since game 1 of the season, and you know what? This is why they play the games, folks. I get it. The Dodgers are the team, but it would be so amazing. And I think for baseball too. I mean, to have the Dodgers not win. I know Dave Roberts says they say we're ruining baseball, but let's go fully ruin it or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe the Jays can be the ones that
stop the Dodgers from ruining baseball. The Jays are going to save baseball.
Yeah. Well, I agree. And for the record, the people that are ruining baseball are like the Rockies and the Pirates and the White Sox and these teams that take the revenue sharing money, don't spend any money on players, and essentially have non-competitive teams that aren't even trying to win. That's the biggest problem. But I digress.
I want to get to this text. We'll get to the National Football League last night. We'll look at this NHL slate. But obviously a huge story here with the Jays. Saskatoon Muncher texts in and says, so let's just say the Ohtani jet goes the other way, and he's a Blue Jay instead of a Dodger. Are the Jays the favorite to win the World Series with just that change in their rosters? I'm a bandwagon fan, so I'm curious. If Ohtani's on the other side of this thing, Huss, the Blue Jays would be the favorite, right? Small favorite, slight favorite. I think slight favorite.
They're a minus 213 favorite. And we're not talking about going from like minus 150. I mean, but
Ohtani might be the best position player and best pitcher in the entire series. Like that, you're taking 2 guys essentially, put them on the other team.
I agree, but I think you have to look. I mean, there's over $1 billion in that lineup for the Dodgers. I mean, you've got Betts and Teoscar and Hernandez. I mean, Freddie Freeman, former World Series MVP, and a pitching staff that is as good as been assembled in a long time. So I don't know whether that would be able to. I think I would still think me personally, I think the Dodgers would still be a favorite. Like,
what would the number be? What would you think? Like minus 115?
Yeah, like minus 120 to even money or something like that. Yeah. Like it would definitely be a heck of a lot closer. But hey, he's such a tough guy, like, to really think of as, like, even though normally I hate the Yankees, I hate these teams that spend all the money and just have the, it's just a natural reaction from a smaller market, to feel. But it's one of the most likable teams. I mean, Ohtani's a rock star of all time. Mookie Betts is one of the most popular guys. Freddie Freeman.
I like Freddie Freeman too. I mean,
I love the Japanese guys they have on their team. Like Yamamoto and Sasaki's unreal. So, I mean, it's what a dream series though for the Blue Jays. You win the American League. I don't want to say everything is gravy right now because it is all about winning the championship, but man, this run that this team has been on.
Well, they also get to play with very little pressure in this series. I know it's a World Series, but you're just seated your pit. Like it doesn't matter. Like, go get it. Nobody's expecting you to upset the Dodgers. So I think for a team that's already sort of been a bit of a dog since the beginning of the season, I think it fits them very well to be in this spot.
Yeah, they've been in it all year long. They were that way. And now that I think about it, I mean, the Yankees, I think, if I'm not mistaken, were about the same minus 213 or so against the Jays when that series started. And much like that series, let's not forget that the Jays do have home field.
Yep.
I mean, that win on the last game of the season not only clinched the AL East, it clinched the AL and home field through the playoffs as long as they didn't play the Brewers. So now that it's the Dodgers who finished with 93 wins, one less than the Jays, they got to come to Toronto, and man, if they could get off to a good start. By the way, if you're looking for tickets, they are so insane in Toronto right now. Apparently, the games in LA aren't even sold out. So if you want to see the World Series, I think you can still get face value tickets in LA. To be honest, the flight, everything to go there will still, I think, be less than going to Toronto. Although if you're a Jays fan, being part of that atmosphere at Rogers Center is, I think, what everyone wants to be right now.
I think that's what you want. That's what you're going to be paying for. I've been seeing these updated throughout the morning. Last time I saw somebody put something up, like the 500, like the top level was about 2,300 just to get in the building. Basically, you're looking at like $2,000 to $2,500. When Korolnik was on today, he was actually in the queue for tickets. And at the end of the segment, he goes, "Oh, I actually just got my opportunity to purchase tickets." He goes, "I can buy a ticket if I want for $8,900. He's like, "I don't think I'll be getting that one
at that point."
Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know, man. I mean, it would be awesome to go to one of those games, but that's
I see Mark Am from the chat. Stephen A predicts it goes 7. That would be amazing. Stephen A, the most brilliant man in the media.
Yeah, I mean, I literally give zero shits what Stephen A. Smith says about baseball.
I know you'd be mad about it right now. He's not backing down from LeBron there. There's rarely you have such a public feud between a superstar and a really good basketball player.
There's no public feud. It's just Stephen A. going out and still talking about something that happened a year ago. The guy's insane. Hey. Anyway, let's not get into that today. But the NBA season does start tonight. Lakers and Warriors tonight. That should be a good one. Thunder, I'm that hardo who actually kind of low-key excited for first night of the NBA. Thunder Rockets should be a pretty interesting game as well. But NBA or NFL last night, Huss, biggest takeaway from either game last night. What do you got? 5-0, by the way. Shout out to Huss. It's our first 5-0 week. I was 4-1. He was 5-0. We were combined 9-1 this week. He's got 9-1 in his last 2 weeks, getting right back to where we need to be. But what'd you take away from those 2 games?
So, full disclosure, I didn't see a lot of the Seattle-Houston game.
Spoiler alert, nobody did, Huss.
Yeah, we were locked in on the Jets and Flames. Listen, I think I read that game very well. This was going to be a time where Detroit was the better team. And listen, if they didn't have the turnovers that they did in the first half, that game should have been about 28-0 at halftime. I mean, they were moving the football. Gibbs is an absolute maniac. And their defense stepped up in a way. I think they were a little embarrassed by what Kansas City did to them last week. And I mean, they stepped up, and I think Tampa had 2 first downs in the first half, and one of them was on a penalty. So, I mean, Baker's been incredible all year long, but I mean, you lose Mike Evans. You had no one really to start with as it was. It was going to be a real uphill battle. So I still think Detroit is the team to beat in the we could have the Lock Shop Bowl in the Super Bowl this year. I'm very bullish on the Chiefs, and I'm very bullish on the Lions this year.
I don't know how that goes over. I mean, that would be the monumental victory lap for me if the Lions were able to somehow beat the Chiefs as a Chiefs team that has had so much success. I mean, the Chiefs beating the Lions, I'd probably not be in for the next couple of days. I'm not going to sit around and take that heat from you. I've had to see you do that to other teams for the last 5 years. I don't think I could sit here and take it for the Lions.
Listen,
I don't think I could do it.
That would scare that. I mean, if you're asking me, if you told me, the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
Who do you fear? I would say of the teams. I mean, Philly is still Philly, and obviously they worked them pretty good last year. But having played both of them this year, I think that at their best, the Lions are the scariest team in the NFC. So I guess we will see.
Boy.
By the way, just quickly, you mentioned the NBA with tip-off tonight. Any thoughts on futures? Last call before things.
Man, I haven't even really this Jays run has totally taken me away from any sort of NBA futures love. But let's get a look at this here. Let's see. What do we got?
The OKC number is pretty short. It should be. I think
it should. I mean, it should be. We saw what they did last year. We know the roster that they've constructed. We know the assets that they have to improve the roster if need be. Here are your top
so young.
Top 10 odds to win the NBA title this year. OKC plus 245. The Denver Nuggets with Jokic at plus 645. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who had a great season last year, they're at plus 795. The Knicks at plus 845. The Rockets at 10-1. The Timberwolves went on a decent run in the playoffs last year at plus 1290. The Lakers at plus 1390. The Warriors at plus 1890. The Clippers at 20-1. And then the Magic at 22-1. How many West teams are in this top 10? Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, T-Wolves, Rockets. That's 5. Nuggets and Thunder. So 7 of the top 10 odds are in what should be an extremely competitive Western Conference this year. I mean, the plus 245 on OKC that's a pretty short number, but I mean, I think the Thunder are set up here to win multiple titles in the next 3-4 years. So
I'll be honest. I think plus 245 is about the best number I've seen on the Thunder. Just kind of checking out a few things and some articles. Like they've been in around 2-1, plus 210, plus 220 in a lot of places. So that is the, and I was watching a thing from Ryan Russillo. Russillo just moved all his stuff over to Barstool, and he popped up on one of my feeds today, and he made the argument, kind of thinking about who could challenge OKC, and he's like, I don't know if anyone can. When you look at, and he kind of went down their list of players, like how young and dominant these players are already, and how like they're going to be getting better.
Yeah,
like Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren's just been in the league for basically a year. So I don't know. I think it might be fun. Obviously, with SGA being a Canadian, maybe I'm just going to roll some of that Jays AL money into a season-long OKC Thunder bet and just ride with SGA all year.
Yeah, that is a pretty deep team that you're looking at right now with OKC. Like, I don't think they're going to win 4 in a row. I don't think that's really possible. There'll be some upsets along the way, but not really a weakness on that group. And we saw what they were capable of last year.
Cooper Flag seems like like they've already given him the Rookie of the Year award.
Minus 185 on Cooper Flag.
Yeah. Okay, what's the MVP? That's interesting, because that always, it seems like the last couple of years, SGA, the Joker, is always right there at the top of the list.
Yeah, SGA is at plus 195. Jokic is at plus 245. Luka is at plus 370. And then it falls off after that. You got Wemby at 1070, Giannis at 1080. Anthony Edwards is further down again, outside 21. He's like almost 22-1. And then you get down to the Cunninghams and the Jalen Brunsons, KD, and those types of guys.
Wemby?
I mean, if the Spurs can do something legitimate, Wemby at 10-1 is not bad. I mean, Jokic at plus 245. I mean, you watch NBA games, you watch Jokic, and I mean, he does so much for that team. It's insane. He's got, what does Jokic have? He's got 4 MVPs right now, or 3?
I think 3, because he didn't win last year.
Yeah, he has 3. He's won 3 of the last 5. He won in 21. He won in 22. He won in 23. He won in 24. And then, SGA won last year. So I think there's a 4th one probably somewhere along the way coming for Jokic. Wemby at 10-1 is interesting. I mean, depending on how long LeBron is out, helps Luka's case quite a bit. He's dropped the weight coming in. Ton of expectations on him. I mean, I can see why those 3 guys are separated so much from the rest of the pack. All right, Huss, let's dive into this NHL slate tonight, man. We don't have a ton of time left, and there's a bunch of games. I had the starting goalies up. Give me 1 second. Hey, tell me about Winnipeg last night, buddy. How was that?
Well, it was awesome. Hellebuck was great as usual. Funny, we're already in. He had a rough first game. Well, listen, the team did, but he gave up 5 to Dallas and still had like great analytic numbers, but whatever, you let in 5 and your save percentage is what it is. Yeah, he's up to 927 already and 2 point low twos for goals against. So he was great. But listen, the big story was Jonathan Toews. Toews scored his first goal. He had 2 points in the last game. Like it is really hard seeing how well he's played, and we're not even 10 games into the season. And seeing what he does on the ice, to think that this might be a move that helps the Jets more than anyone could have imagined, especially when the games get important down the stretch right now. So
you know what? Good for him. Good for him after not playing for that long to come back and be able to make that type of impact. Yeah, I feel good for that guy.
It's great. So yeah, we got a couple days off before back-to-back with Seattle and Calgary. A little bit of a softer part of the schedule right now while a bunch of guys are still out, and Perfetti and Sandberg and Lowry. So yeah, great start so far. I mean, as they say, they've ripped off 5 in a row after losing that first game at home. So so far so good. I guess a little different story. I mean, Oilers need to salvage something out of this road trip.
Yeah, I mean, this road trip's been a disaster. They're 1-3. They don't deserve anything better. In fact, they should probably be 0-4. Skinner stole the first game for them. They got Ottawa tonight. Ottawa's given up 30 goals in 6 games. They can't keep the puck out of their net. Their penalty kill sucks, like Ottawa's does. So if Edmonton's going to get it right here, I mean, I think this game is possibly there for the taking. Here's what we've got quickly. Stolars will go for Toronto. Jake Allen will start for the Devils. Sorokin for the Islanders. They're at home against the Sharks. Saskarov will go there. Lankinen will start for the Canucks. Shilovs for the Penguins. That's in Pittsburgh. It'll be Ullmark versus Skinner in this Edmonton-Ottawa game. Logan Thompson will start for the Capitals at home against the Kraken. No confirmed starter on that side. Swayman versus Bobrovsky. Panthers and Bruins. Binnington listed as likely for the Blues at home against the Kings. Nothing confirmed for the Kings. Possibly Forsberg there. UC Saros will start for the Preds. Dostal's unconfirmed for the Ducks. It'll be Ottinger versus Merzlikins in that Columbus-Dallas game. Vejmelka is listed as likely for the Mammoth. Scott Wedgwood is unconfirmed for the Colorado Avalanche. Huss, we got just a couple of minutes. What jumps off the page for you here in the National Hockey League tonight?
You know, Vancouver's been playing well, and they're basically a pick 'em in Pittsburgh. And I mean, I know Pittsburgh has had a couple nice wins so far this season, but I still sort of I look at what Vancouver's done, including that win over Dallas, and they're playing some good hockey right now. So I'm certainly considering Vancouver at that number. St. Louis had a couple really ugly games at home early on. They're playing better right now. Don't mind them as a home favorite at -133. And I guess my first look, just when I saw that Avalanche number, is that the Avalanche under -150 against just about anybody that's not maybe like the Dallas Stars are on the road. I'm kind of thinking about that. They've been unbelievable. They've lost 1 game, and I think it was a shootout. So right off the hop, those teams look pretty good to me. I mean, listen, if you want to take Dallas at -189 to add to a parlay, you could certainly do that. I did consider Florida. It's Marchand's return to Boston tonight.
It is.
So I don't know whether it's, to go for a point or something like that for Marshy. But I think the Bruins will be ready to go for this one as well. And Florida has not been playing well. They won those first 3 games, and I think they've lost 3 or 4 in a row after that start. What about you?
Yeah, that would be kind of an interesting one. Yeah, the Canucks, interesting play. I mean, the Capitals are a big favorite at home against the Kraken, but I really do like Washington there. Maybe an in regulation play for the Capitals. Dallas is -208 at home against the Blue Jackets. Dallas hasn't necessarily been playing awesome so far. Interesting Colorado line. It might have something to do with goaltending situation, but Colorado's been absolutely rolling. Natchez has had an awesome start to the year. They're just -143 on the road in Utah. So I don't hate the Avs in that spot either. I mean, there's a ton of games tonight. We don't really have to put together a parlay. We've got a ton on the go here already. But yeah, there's a bunch there tonight. So maybe you want to grab some stuff that Huss said and maybe a few of my leans as well and go put something together over there. What's coming up on WST, Huss?
Well, we're going to be talking lots of Jays. Josh Goldberg was in the building yesterday. He's going to jump on with us. Kevin Sawyer was in the building in Calgary calling the Jets Flames. He's going to join us. We'll talk some Jets, and Patty and Jake were at the game too. They're going to pop by a little later on. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a Jays victory lap party and a lot of talk about a Jet 5-game winning streak as the team comes back home from Calgary last night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, buddy, you have a good show, man, and we will check in tomorrow.
Excellent, buddy. Thanks so much.
There you go. That is us, Winnipeg Sports Talk. One more time. Lots going on in the National Hockey League tonight. Our EST specials as follows. Jay's play of the day is already up. Oilers to win and over 5.5 goals, so 6+ goals, plus 165. Draisaitl, 2+ points. That's Dusty's play of the day, plus 130. And then the early bird bet, Oilers money line, McDavid over 0.5 goals and Bouchard points. So Oilers money line, McDavid goal, Bouchard point plus 350. So we could run a clean slate on this specials page today if the Oilers can score some goals tonight. Hernan Salas, they're going to score goals tonight or what? What do you think, buddy?
6-1.
6-1. He's back. Hernan Salas believes. Hernan was so excited that he's just like show over after he said 6-1. Hey, if we can get 6-1 today, that would be great. We're going to continue to preview this game. Knobloch mixing with the lines again. We'll get into that as well. Feels good to see the Toronto Blue Jays go into a World Series. Whatever happens against the Dodgers, enjoy this time. It should be very fun. We're looking forward to that. Myself, Cass, and Gager on Two Guys and a Goalie, presented by GS Construction, coming up here at noon today. We'll get you ready for the game. That'll lead into EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager, and then that goes into the Reed Wilkins Show, which goes into the Oil Stream pre and post. Tommy Gazzola is on location today for the pre and post game. That will be happening at Hudson's on White if you want to pop by there today as well. But use our code EST Sports. Deposit 50, get 50. You can use that free bet on any one of those 3 Oilers parlays that we got tonight. We are due to have a across the board victory on the Oilers tonight. So hopefully that works. Thank you very much for joining us in the Lock Shop. Hammer the thumbs up for us before you head on over to Two Guys and a Goalie. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, Two Guys and a Goalie on the way in less than 5 minutes. Thank you very much for riding with us today. Best of luck on everything you're on tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.